Hello and welcome. We have some truly exciting mods for all you Xbox players, ranging from some brand new custom-made components that will really spice up your ship build, some with some profound detail that have long been very much a staple for many of the PC modders, as well as getting access finally to be able to build large Class M ships using the various components from base stations, the giant reactors from the Class M ships you encounter flying around the universe. So many cool mods to go through. So for the most part, we're going to be focusing in on the very best mods for you to download right now for your spaceship to enhance, to improve, and to make it a much more enjoyable for your experience. If you get anything out of this, consider liking and subscribing. Let's get into it. Now, this next mod is another mod that isn't directly a ship mod. However, it fits very perfectly on your ship, and it's called the Pilot Assist Bot mod. And what it does is it allows you to have a completely new companion, tiny little, awesome little contraption, which is called the Pilot Assist Bot. And it's going to add this very tiny, awesome little mobile companion that is going to stay on your ship, which is going to boost some of your skills. It gives you rank 1 a neutronic fusion, gives you rank 2 on your shield systems, and the big one, 4-star starship engineering for those quick repairs. So he might look tiny and awesome, but boy does he pack a nice punch in terms of how he can boost your overall ship performance. A really nice handy companion to just have there. Plus, when he is on your ship, it is awesome just to see a little robot zooming around. Feels a little bit more like Star Wars almost. I hope to see a few more little droids. Now, in order to get access to the pilot assisted bot, you just need to head to the lodge after downloading the mod, and if you walk around, you will be able to find him. So you just go up to him, talk to him, and assign him to your ship by saying, "Come with me," and then just assigning just like you would any other crew member. And then you do the same again if you would like him to return to the lodge. So this next mod's really exciting for the Xbox players because it is going to allow you to build giant ships using some of the Class M module. The mod is called M Class Unlock version 2. First off, it is basically a complete rewrite or a new updated version of the previous M Class Unlock. And what it will do is it will allow you to access many of the Class M, or the monster class or mothership class, whatever you want to call it, as well as many of the other unusual components that are linked to space stations. As you can see here, these are really cool structures to add to any kind of build. Along with all the new components, the most brilliant part about this is that it's gone in and changed all the Class M, or many of the Class M components, to be Class C. So see how this one says Class M? So not all of them, but a good portion of them have been configured so they are Class C now, which means it's going to be much easier to build and implement these and fly them around in Starfield. And here's another example. So we have the giant reactors, say the Beam 7763 reactor with a power generated of 54, but it's a Class C. So this is a really handy mod now. This was not around last time I was playing Starfield, so this is going to make it more accessible and probably a lot less glitchy building with these components and building giant ship. Now do keep in mind, as you can see, I'm just going to scroll around and move around. The performance is very choppy when you do build big ship, but there have been some reports that it is working quite well on Xbox. So it's not as bad as it used to be. Before, it was much worse. So they've definitely done a lot of work on the performance. It is much more manageable now. And even on Xbox, you will be able to build nice big ships now. This mod should also give you access to some of the cool structural components that we previously mentioned, but also some that you find on many of the Class M ship that you encounter. For example, here we go. So we have some of these giants, say the Nova large cap. From my understanding, you should now have access to some of these structures. Now, it's really important if by chance you do have the old version of M Class Unlock on your own PC, or if there was a version available on Creations, is to make sure you remove that and then restart your game, then re-download the M Class Unlock version 2, and then exit your game again, reboot, and then you should be good to go. Do note that this mod works perfectly fine with a lot of the unlocked shipyard mods, so you will have access to many of these modules like before, but this time a lot of them will be changed to Class C. Also note there have been included in this is some extra and much better camera angles. This is a much nicer camera implementation included in this mod, making it much easier to manage and look at some of these giant ships. And he mentions that they've all been changed to Class C, but I did note some of them have been Class M, and it might be because of some of my underlining mods, so do keep that in mind. Another thing to note is that the New Atlantis Technician has had all keywords removed, so you will no longer have every ship part unlocked. However, you should be able to circumvent this by using the Outpost Shipyard Unlocked mod, which will give you all the other components. However, keep in mind, this does not remove any of the normal restrictions. For example, more than one grav drive, more than one shield, etc. However, it just gives you a lot of access to a lot of new components that are now much more functional, easier to use. Big, huge ships that come into Xbox is going to be glorious. Now, there is another thing to note when you are building big ship, you may encounter some issues with your camera or your field of view when you are traveling, when you are flying your big ship. So it's a little bit easier to get around when you are on PC with a few commands, but do keep in mind you may have some issues. If your ship is too big, it might be a bit of a harder issue to navigate. If you worked a way around this, do let us know. Now, this next mod is not so much a ship mod, but it very much works very well adding it to your ship. So I'm going to include it here, and it's called the infinite storage box. No longer will you have to go to the lodge. You'll be able to go onto your ship, open up your scanner, then into your decorator, and then heading over to the decoration tab, and you'll see an extra entry there saying storage box, which is the first selection by default. Head down to that, and if you move through the different selections, you have a variety of different boxes to choose from the very small to the very large storage units that we are accustomed to seeing on the outpost and somewhat in the ship. It does range from very small to quite large. However, you'll be able to insert every single item that you have into this box. I'll just give you a quick example here. So I've got a little box here that I built, just tucked it down on the floor, opened it up, and then I've just got another mod that allows me to transfer all my inventory over to the desired destination, this time being the infinite storage box. I've just stored it all, and then everything just goes straight in there, and then I can open it back up and transfer it all back if I wanted to. However, keep in mind, it can be a bit risky storing all your items in a box on a ship. It is generally always better to store it in your cargo. However, if you're just sticking to one ship, not changing and modifying it, not capturing any other ship, you're just using one ship only, then it's pretty safe bet to use this. Otherwise, in any other scenario, probably be cautious, as items tend to get transferred when you switch to a new home ship, and depending on the amount will get transferred to you and your ship, to your personal inventory and your new ship inventory. So just keep that in mind. Now, this next mod is a huge win for Xbox players. You're finally getting the DerreTech mod. This mod has been a huge staple for many of us, offering a large variety of some truly custom, very uniquely designed and shaped structures, HABs, reactors, and now with the latest version being reworked and added to the creation marketplace, you can download this right now and get access to adding over what's probably 30 uniquely custom designed bits and pieces for your ship. And not to mention, one of the coolest features I've seen are these wings that fold out and fold down when you land and when you fly, as well as some of the most uniquely and detailed cockpit structures that we've probably ever seen. However, some sad news, there are a ton of other components and bits and pieces that were absolutely refreshing and unique, and that is the DerreTech Legacy, the old previous version. Unfortunately, none of those will be supported moving forward. Don't exactly know if that means it's never going to come, but as it stands right now, Derek, the creator, has no intention of refreshing these and bringing them into the creation kit. Probably very understandable. So much work. This is a highly recommended mod. You won't be disappointed. This next mod is called a Ship Management Tool, another excellent mod from SKK Mod. Once the mod's installed, you'll be able to go to your industrial workbench, craft the ship tools. We just need to open to our inventory, go into aid, and then within the aid, we'll have the different tools. So let's say if we want to teleport to the ship, we can click on this, boom. Even though we're already in the ship, it's going to teleport you anywhere in the known universe to your ship. The ship tools open cargo allows you to open the home ship cargo inventory anywhere. So no restriction on the distance. You'll be able to access and transfer items to your ship wherever you are. However, the default value for Xbox users is 250 meters that you'll be able to access this functionality. However, keep in mind, you can change that in the gameplay options. So I'm not so sure how relevant this part of the mod will be for everyone, because you can already set the distance to access your cargo ship from the inventory menu. So keep that in mind. This next tool is terrific. So say you've landed on a planet and you're exploring like a madman and you end up quite far away from your ship, and go into inventory, and you can now call your ship to your location. So we get to see our ship take off and land. Here we go. So you just have to move out of the way of the ship. It'll even make a nice noise for you and everything. Then we get to see our ship take off just from over there, which is freaking awesome, just to see your ship take off. And as you can see, you get to see it land. What an epic tool. Truly an epic mod. The other two ship tools, this one will clear any corpses that you find on your ship. So I know some people have issues where they've captured ships and the corpses remain. This will now clear it. This one you're going to absolutely love. So the ship tool hacker, I'll just show you what that one does. So say you're in that classic situation where one of the long swords or another ship lands and you can't actually get into the cockpit, or you can't steal the ship. Well, fear not, this mod is going to fix that. So how does it work? So we have a sun sail that's landed. See how the door is locked? So now if we go into our menu, now there is the ship tool menu, but we'll cover that at the end. But let's just say we use the ship tool hacker. You will have to be within 5 meters of the ship, otherwise it won't work. So get in nice and close, then just run it, and then we can unlock and then take over the ship. Do note it can set off the alarm and you could be taken into space just like normal, but really freaking neat. So going back to the last ship tool, which is the menu, this is Probably the more recommended way of using this mod is just using the tool menu. That way you can access all the different functionality just within a simple pop-up window. So we've been through all the different open home ship cargo, we've teleported, we've called the home ship, we've hacked it. Don't need to clear the corpses technically, but that would work. Then there's the auto register new ship. So once you've captured a ship, you just click this and it's going to register it. And the really neat thing about this is after we've hacked a spaceship, if we use the auto register, we no longer need to take off with the ship to claim it as our own. It will just get popped into your ship hangar, your ship inventory. And if you didn't notice, it even has up here how many ships you own, how much hangar space you have, and the cargo used, so a percentage of how much cargo you've used. So that makes it much more quicker and easier to capture ships now that land. So really nifty tool. The other thing that's really neat is that you can assign this to your quick menu. You no longer have to go to your menu. You can just assign it to a quick select. And if we use it now and we go ship ramp disabled, and then ship ramp enabled, we go close menu. But basically enabling it, what it allows is us to activate the ramp ourselves so we can trap enemies in. Or if you ever get that bug where the ramp is locked and it's closed when ships land, this is going to be a really awesome way to navigate it if that is still around. So an absolute top-notch mod, extremely useful and handy. Thanks SK. Moving on to the next one. This next mod is for you Star Trek fans. We have some ship modules that you'll now be able to attach to your ship. Thanks to the legendary Inquisitor, we have up to 13 new standalone components based on Star Trek from the Kelvin timeline. Deflector dishes and Bassard collectors, which we can see here. We have the deflectors and some of the Bassard, and you find these all in your structural and they're just decorative. And here is a better view of some of the components. So say the engineering section bigger, get a good idea of that. So it does offer a few different locations to snap to, as you can see. For example, if you align it right, you can attach pretty much anything to the top and you can just snap it to a lot of the different connections. Modules can be bought for the same structural price, so quite cheap. The modules have no conditions or restrictions other than just the usual placement of being attached to something. Also worth noting is that there was a recent update that added 6 new modules, which is a lot of the different variations of the same modules, just with different lighting. This is not all the different colored components, but this gives you a good idea. Another nice mod to add a few extra modules to your ever-increasing ship module library. You can imagine in a couple of years how big this list is going to be. Thank you very much for watching. If you get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think about some of these mods. You can let me know what mods you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything on your mind, just drop it in the comment. Thanks again, and peace.